Okay, welcome to the next installment, update number 3. Let's try and keep this quick and show you as much. There's been lots happening. Hopefully you should be able to see this moving around. That's good. That means we're live. Not going to fall in the same trap. So let's hopefully play the game now. And it comes up on a screen. I'm happy with that. Movement around. As you can see, my camera is moving. I can obviously move around the screen as well. I've got various key features and rotations. Got some print screens just to make sure they work as well. I haven't turned them off, so you may see them come up every now and again, just where I've been checking stuff. So, generally speaking, my camera is set. We can now also start utilizing this. Let's hope it works. Let's hope it shows on the screen. So here's my cube. I've got a cube feature, and it will keep going until I do it. I got a cylinder feature. So again, I can keep pressing them, and they'll just keep rebuilding. And I can keep doing that until I press right click. I have a pipe, which I can have a straight pipe. Again, I can keep building. I'll come more to the text in a minute. And I've got bends at the moment. Again, the I'll come more onto the text afterwards. And then finally, I've got this, which is my in-out machine. And again, more of that will become apparent shortly. So, they're the sort of objects I have at the moment, and they're just trying to get this mechanics working. And I've got this big old screen with a mounted UI on it as well. Again, not connected, but I'll come up to it. As you know, I'm trying to create a game that does this bit of stuff. So what I've done so far is I've managed to get a pipe. Yeah, and if you notice the little arrow on top, it'll send that information in that direction. It's a one direction pipe, and it will send it down like so. Now my cube, I have attached to it an output box where it just says test, I believe. So if I bring this down to this end, oh, it says hello, my apologies. So it does that. When I remove it, the information still stays because it gets stored in a variable so far at the moment. If I was to get an in-out machine, it says test, means it's connected. Again, this is just debugging areas that I'm using these for at the moment. During the game, I'm not expecting these tests to remain. However, as a debugging movement. You'll also notice I've got these objects now. I have these for all of them. So if I select an object, I can get that same option. I got a move option, so I can move it around. Obviously, my apologies. Still working out the kinks. So let me just make that move. Not sure what they are. It's gone red. If I try and move it over something, it has a collision. But then I can do that there. Um, I can also copy, and then that will just allow me to repeatedly do that. So effectively, it's like selecting them down the bottom at the moment. Again, if I select it, I can just delete the object. And then when I do have the thing, I also have the chance of just cancelling that menu section out as well. Let's get rid of that. Things are working, but if they work in a particular order, it's not quite debugged to the point where I can remove stuff. I apologise that this video has gone on a little bit longer, but there's still more to go because I've been working on it proper solid. So anyway, if you should notice with these ones test and they're connected, I can click on this one and I have a settings menu. This is where I can input hello world, and you'll notice as once I click submit and then I close the screen, yeah, the hello world now has transferred that data across, all from the hello world thing. Just a reminder, it's this one. Hello world appears on the top. Again, this is debugged. This is just to let you know that the information is being transferred across. Ideally, what I would like to do is have this as my input machine. It comes through, creates to a sort of standing pin, if you will, that would then project, if you will, or some pipes or cables learning into the screen. So that would be our printout console, if you will, or even it plugs into the floor in some way. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work yet, but as you can see, the gist here is that by connecting these blocks and cables, we can get actual algorithmic functions. The pipe at the moment for the bend, uh, if I was to do this, because I've just removed them, my collisions are still working a bit rough at the moment, so it still thinks there's a bit there. I'm still working on that, but you'll notice as well if I put it on the end here, yeah, it sends the information that way, but it doesn't send it the opposite way. So if I was to do that, you would notice that it's based on the collision, so there's an input and output on all of them. As you can see there, they're just hidden on the other ones, on the straight pipes. It's going down, but it's not adjusting the pipe. If I put another pipe bend in here, yeah, so I put another pipe bend in here, and then if I was to put straight pipes in facing the right way, you'd notice that they would take that information on as well. So, and there we are. That's where we're at the moment. Um, I've kind of got it working. I can get it once it's laid down, and then we change the information. I've got to get these corners working, and obviously I need an output. Once I've got that traversal of information working, I can then experiment with putting if statements in and branches and various other bits and pieces into the game as well, and trying to do something a bit more cool. I just need to get that information moving and transferring beyond. Again, I appreciate that this is a long video. Thank you so much for listening.